Hey everyone, my name is Azita Ziaei, and today I want to talk to you about this awesome project that I created last year, which I interviewed 20 immigrant women that they share their stories to the world that they get. And my vision was to inspire and empower other immigrant women that they want to come here, they want to immigrate to Canada or any other countries, but they have that fear that what's going to happen next, or what's happening, or they are going through a hard time, because we all go through it. And I just want to inspire them by watching these videos that if we did it, they can do it too, and they are not alone. I hope you enjoy them. And if you like my channel, please subscribe, and I have more projects coming on soon. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Here we are with Aseel Elbaba, and it's May 9th. We are still in quarantine, and today it's snowing. So how are you doing, Aseel?
It's really interesting times. You don't know what to expect anymore, but I'm doing great, relatively speaking. I
Good.
try to make the most out of the situation.
Yeah, so like you told me you're busy and you're always doing something and interviewing or like talking or like
Yeah, I do feel overwhelmed because I recently started my business as of March 1st, and
wow.
as soon as I started my business, the coronavirus became a big deal, and the quarantine is now imposed on all of us. So it obviously impacts a lot of people's moods, the social isolation, the impact financially, the health issues, just like so many variables we're dealing with all at once, and I'm just coping. But I do feel very overwhelmed and busy. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I have to introduce you again saying like you are a speaker, you are a financial
Therapy.
therapist.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So I just want to let you explain that more. So
Sure.
go ahead, like tell us about like what you do exactly, and then when did you come to Canada?
Okay, so I came to Canada when I was 16 in 2005.
Right.
And I went to, I mean, if you want to know what I do today, is that the focus?
Yeah, just tell us what you do now, and then we
Sure.
can go
So
back.
I'm a financial therapist. So my background is in financial planning, and I am in school to become a registered psychotherapist. So I am a therapist in training. But the interesting thing about the practice that I started is exploring the underlying issues that we have with money from the emotional and psychological perspectives, and developing a healthy, productive relationship with it, because it's a very complex topic and it impacts a lot of aspects of our lives beyond just the financial.
Right.
It impacts our relationship, the way we show up the world, our careers, our health, and so much more. So my aim and my goal and my mission is to heal people's relationship with money, and create a space for exploration and productive, abundant thinking.
Oh, that's amazing because like these things they don't teach you at the school.
They definitely don't. And even when I was a financial planner in the corporate world, it was always a very practical, linear way of approaching money, and that's not necessarily how money works. It's not a numbers game. It's really our emotions making the decisions here. So I wanted to create space to explore that.
Wow. Um, that's really is amazing subject to talk about, to have an interview just about that. But since my project is all about the immigration women and empowering, so let's just start like when did you come to, I guess you said like you came here when you were 16,
Yeah.
and like the first few years, like what do you remember from the the challenges, the struggles that you were having at that time? So
Sure. I mean, I was a teenager. So when you're 16, there's so many things happening in your world that are already confusing in itself.
right.
But I was dealing with three major transformations and transitions in my life simultaneously. The movement from teenage to adulthood, that in itself is something that takes time to process. My parents were getting divorced and separated at that time, so it's also very troubling emotionally. and moving from the Middle East to Canada, like the shift in culture and attitudes, and just leaving behind stability, family, and friends, and all these things that shaped my world. And all of them were happening at the same time. So it was a very confusing few years trying to ground myself and find myself again in all the noise that was happening around me. So the first few years in Canada, I recall them being very, very difficult. It was the
Okay, I didn't hear
yeah, and it was I
sorry, I didn't hear the last word because you froze for a few seconds. The last
oh,
word
I was
you
saying it was the angriest. Yeah,
angry.
these years were the angriest and the saddest times
Oh,
I've experienced so far. Like I was very angry and I was very sad at the same time. It was very confusing emotionally.
right.
Yeah,
Where are you from originally?
Lebanon.
Lebanon. Okay. Okay, so I don't know how old you are. So when was that? Like how many years ago?
2005. I'm 30 now.
Oh, 2005. Okay. Okay. 15 years ago.
Mhm.
I see. And what do you like? How did you overcome those struggles, you think, the first few years?
Um, few things. There's internal support and external support. So the internal support is really starting to invest in self-development for myself. Reading books about self-development, listening to certain audiobooks and YouTube, and just really starting to cultivate a positive mindset, and working on my inner healing and self-love and self-care. These were very essential things that helped me start to move forward. But the external support system is finding the right people to surround yourself with, the right job opportunities, the right friends, like a group of a community, like to establish a sense of belonging in a new place.
Right.
That for me was a big deal, obviously. Like ultimately, as humans, we seek to connect and belong, and this gives us purpose and meaning to our existence. So it was a mix of internal and external support systems.
So like since like after high school or during high school, you started all this.
Yeah, yeah. My self development journey started right around uh, you know 16, 17. I started really buying a lot of self-help books. I had a part-time job, so that helped me start creating a sense of independence for myself, helping my support my mom financially, and then finding, like, I had really amazing group of friends in school who are still in my life today. um, 15 years later, like we're still friends, so I know I developed really uh, essential friendships in my life that also helped support me emotionally. So it was really, really key.
Right. Um, yeah, that's that's amazing to have like group of friends or even like supports. You say like that's the thing. Like if we look for it, like we if we find those people and surround ourselves, so that's
Yeah,
a big plus.
yeah,
So wherever we go, doesn't matter which country, because I don't know. I told you my story. I guess I emigrated 5 times, and like each time doesn't matter where you go. Like you just have to ask and like search for it, like dig for it, like go find those people, like go reach out. Like staying at home, I don't think anybody will come and hold your hand, especially when you are a new immigrant. So nobody comes knocking on your door, like, oh, come on, like I'm gonna help you. So it just it's hard, but we have to like really reach out to people and find those people.
it's a balance between finding the people around you in this community and support, and also finding yourself in that process, like
Yeah.
really strengthening the relationship you have with yourself, and self-love and self-care practices that ground you and humble you and support you no matter what. So that relationship for me, uh, I mean, I'm still working on it. I think it's a lifelong journey, but it started materializing. uh, the importance of that journey started in these years because it was crucial. in times where you find yourself with no one around and nobody that you can rely on because you're new, it's time to look inwards and just strengthen your own bond with yourself.
Wow. Yeah, those are really, really like the key, like one of the keys, but which is really helpful.
Mhm.
Like I, after 26 years that I emigrated, I can tell you like 2 years ago I started this journey. What are you talking about? No, seriously, like I haven't told my story completely, but when I emigrated, I was just always, looking for people to go and like attach with, like have friends, like always, keep me busy, right? And then when the time came, I was 29. I said, okay, so it's time to get married now. Now it's time to have a family. In our culture, like when you get to like 30, you feel like even nobody tells you. I don't know. That's how I was, because nobody was forcing me. But I was thinking like, okay, now it's time to have a family. But even though it wasn't a right person, but I did it, and I started a family. So all these years, I can tell you, for 24 years, it was all about the other people, right? It was always about, okay, now I'm married. Now, like, let me find other people to make me happy. But I never, ever spend the time on myself to make myself happy. So I'm just so grateful now that my kids are teenagers, so I can do all these things and be, in a place that, like, go retreats, go. Now I'm in a leadership program. Like, I'm so like grateful that I'm still here. I'm here. I can do it. It took me 20, 24 years, but finally I got to the point that we were talking about, like at the beginning, like look inside, not outside. So that was really great. Yeah, I guess I just want to say, like, sometimes it takes longer to get there. It's good to start early, but for me, I guess I was a late bloomer in those areas. So, but
When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Like I think this is a lifelong journey. You may have been ready before, but you weren't conscious about it. And there's different layers and depth to this particular relationship we have with ourselves anyway. So what I'm aware of and capable of today will transform and change shapes and deepen with time. So, it's never too late to start that journey, but it's really rewarding to start
yeah,
looking and loving yourself. Like, you know,
yeah, it's an amazing feeling now I have, like,
yeah,
because I feel like, okay, finally I'm finding myself, like my voice, even my my true Azita. Like, how am I feeling about myself? How do I love myself? How can I love myself more and more? So that's very. I know you said like we have like half an hour, so I just want to get back to the. um, what was the prices you think you paid to get where you are right now, like during this journey of immigration?
the price I paid. Um, I wouldn't put a price to it.
Mhm.
I just, it's hard to think about it from that perspective. I think there were, so I think if I were to think about the decision of immigrating in itself, I was too young to make it at that time. It was my
Right.
parents who decided, really. But now looking at what the Middle East is going through, particularly Lebanon, I am forever grateful for that. So I don't think I paid the price per se. I think I gained a lot by coming here, and thanks to my parents who've made that decision. And I actually always, when I talk about people who talk about coming here, they a very common thing that I hear people say is, I sacrificed a lot to come to this country. And they're often referring to investments they have back home, relationships they've built back home. But a lot are also talking from a monetarily perspective, because they used to hold certain positions back home, like engineers, doctors, just professionals of some sort. And here they find that they have to start from like the ground up again.
Yeah.
And we often refer to this as a sacrifice. And I always challenge that word itself, sacrifice, because I feel that when we use it, we're coming from a space of scarcity and lack, as if we start looking less at ourselves today in new country, because we don't no longer have the title doctor or lawyer or engineer or whatever. And I like to use the word invested in myself instead of sacrifice, because it's just approaching the same scenario, but from a space of abundance rather than a space of scarcity. I also hear people say a lot that I am nobody here. I hear this a lot. I am nobody here. And this is an invitation to explore, what does that even mean? Like, is the title, is the title as a lawyer or as a doctor, is that what makes you somebody? Is that what makes you human? Because it's really demeaning when you say this to yourself, that I'm a nobody here. So I personally haven't paid the price, because I was too young, and I started my education and my career from an upward journey, therefore onward. But I've heard other people refer to these things, whether friends or people I meet in my practice, and I noticed that in their mind, they look at it as the price of that worth. They lost their identity or their self worth because of the career changes they've had to go through.
Yeah, that's true because like Iranian people, there's lots of them. They're the same thing. Like I came when I was 24, so like the price maybe I paid is just like the family and like the relatives and like the support back home. That was it. And but like I hear lots of my clients like what you're talking about. Like they came here maybe after they were 40 or like like maybe near 40, and then they had a job and career back home, and they still adjusting like after a few years. Like they don't know, like they want to go, they want to come, they want to stay. They are in between, and that's really the hardest part. Like going back and forth, because you don't want to lose that, and then you don't want to, because it's hard to get what you had there here. So
You
it's
can't
it's
win. You can't build
challenging.
something stable or successful when you're going back and forth. I mean, you can physically go back and forth because
Yeah.
you want to visit and still be engaged in both cultures. But when your attitude is not settled
Yeah.
in what your future looks like and where is that future accessible for you, then it's just not gonna lead you anywhere. And I see it all the time in my own experience as well with the people I see around me. It's a very common what's the word called, like battle. It's an internal battle, and it's a very common one.
Yeah. I've told a few of my clients, like, or even family members, like when they come and like they go back and forth, like at some point you have to make a decision, like either here or there. Like it's just, especially when you start having family and kids, like it's so confusing. Like where are you? Where do you want to be? Like just be in one place. Just live your life. Start your life somewhere. So if you want to stay, stay. If you want to go back, go back. So um, yeah, this was a really quick interview, but I love the conversation. I would love to go on and on and on, but we have to maybe another time. But like only one suggestion like you have for immigrant women that they want to come here or they've been here and like maybe they are going through challenges. A suggestion you have so for those women.
Well, women specifically,
Maybe for men, but like because this project I'm doing for women, that's why I keep saying women.
I would say. um, trust yourself. Trust yourself is a big, big, big um, advice, because I see how empowering it is when you start connecting with the versions of you that just knows what to do. Like, we have everything we need to figure it out, honestly. And if we don't have it ourselves, we know where to get it. We know where to get the answers we need. We know where to get the support we need. But we need to trust in ourselves to make that happen. So I think it's very disempowering when women feel that they're just helpless and they're incapable, and they don't even know who they are beyond the role of the wife or mother or daughter, because that's, coming from the Middle East particularly, the role is always associated with that of a man, coming from a patriarchal society. So I think invest time in cultivating that relationship with yourself so that you're able to experience self-love and trust yourself and making the right things and making the right decisions.
Wow. Yeah, that's deep. Yeah, it is very deep. Like, oh man, like trusting yourself, like it's just it's easy to say, but when
Yeah.
it comes to being it or
Yeah.
doing it, that's the hardest part. Like,
But you start with, so I realize that it's easier said than done. Absolutely. Um, I do believe it's a lifelong journey as well, just like self-love is. But it starts with making a decision that I want to be able to rely on myself, and I am my own hero. I'm not gonna be indulging in a rescue fantasy that somebody out there is gonna come and rescue me somehow. It's really building that internal hero. And once you make that decision, you start building momentum on it. It doesn't happen overnight, but you start with baby steps, practicing meditation, practicing yoga, journaling, seeking therapy or coaching, doing things that make you happy, indulging in self-care and self-love practices. Again, I say this a lot because it's a really core foundation upon which my whole life is built on. So as you start building momentum towards that direction, you strengthen that belief system that tells you, I am capable. And then nothing can stop you after that. Once your belief system and your expectation is on the same line, and you believe and you expect what you believe is going to happen, then you're unstoppable.
wow, again, that was deep. So, that was. This is amazing. Thank you so much. And like, as I said, I would love, I would love to go on and on and on, but I know we have to go. And
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just like I said, I do feel overwhelmed. I have so many things on the go. Um, I'm starting a business for the first time in my life personally. This is a time where I spread my wings and I'm flying. So that's why I have like back-to-back things. But I do appreciate taking some time to chat with you, and I wish you
oh, thank
happy with
you.
your project.
I really appreciate you. You accepted this interview and like this being in my project, and hopefully after this COVID-19 we get to talk more or even
Yeah,
do the
sure.
photo shoot. So I would love to connect with you more. Thank you so much and have a good day and have a good Saturday.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.